Hello Shenanigamers, and welcome back to Darkest Dungeon. Last time, we went into the Weald and cleared out a few corpses. And this time around, we have Sunshine in the Thicket, which gives us more damage and resolve XP in the Weald. So, we're obviously going to be doing a Weald quest this time around. Taking full advantage of that. Let's make sure we've unequipped and sorted all of the trinkets that we have currently. And I think to make the most of this, we need to bring in a higher level team on a higher level mission. There are 3 missions in the Weald currently. Killing the Brigand 8-pounder, which is the new boss in the Weald since the Wizened Hag is now gone. And staving off sickness, which is gathering 3 medicines. And we have one of those on Apprentice and one on Veteran. Both give us a Caregiver's Convention. We'll get another Moon Cloak and some portraits and 6,750 gold. If we do the Veteran one. If we do the Apprentice one, we get 4,500 gold, 2 busts, and a poisoned herb. The thing is, we have so many heroes that are at level 3 and 4, and not very many at 0, 1, and 2. We have enough for a full squad, or a full roster, a full party, there we go, a full party for the Apprentice mission, but they're kind of scattered and all over the place, and I wouldn't feel too comfortable going in there. That kind of a party. I'd rather wait until Durari is back in action. So instead, we're going to try and go for the Veteran mission. As much of a mistake as I'm sure that is. So then, let's see who we can bring who would do well in the Weald. Now the Weald has plenty of things. Zombie is great in the Warrens. You don't want to take them. The Weald has plenty of things. There's some humanoid, there's some beast. Quite a few things deal with blights. There's giants in there as well. Bone Lady is a Weald adventurer. Could potentially be good in the Weald. Valks is a Weald adventurer. They're an unholy hater, and their collect bounty has extra damage versus humans already. Varal, with Hound's Rush, can put up marks that drop protection, and does more damage against beasts. We could potentially bring Varal. Yeah, Varal might not be a bad choice for this. Papon is a Weald adventurer as well, and a beast hater. That could potentially help. Being a deadly Eldritch hater, the Noi could do some good work here. Reviers is a Weald scrounger. They're unyielding, steady. We could try and bring Reviers with us. Well, we're not going to bring Reynold, Dismas, Ditton, and Ide with us this time. So then, let's go ahead and look at some others. Alpha is a Weald tactician, so we could capitalize on how much damage Alpha can deal and bring Alpha in the front. And I think we're going to do just that. We'll really capitalize on all that damage. Vaux is a Weald adventurer. They can drop protection with their mark. Overall, seems like they could be a decent bet to bring here. And then who else can we bring with us? We'd like to have a healer, as well as someone who can drop dodge. And Douai fits that bill if we upgrade their sniper's mark and bring that instead of rallying flare. I'm not keen on that idea. Could also get rid of blind fire instead, and then take sniper's mark. Decisions, decisions. We have 2 people already who can mark targets, but both of them drop protection. Let's just take a look here. Zombie could potentially drop both damage, protection, and dodge if we give them the vulnerability hex instead of the demon's pull. Or we could take off abyssal artillery. We hardly ever use abyssal artillery anymore, so it wouldn't be the worst idea to give them vulnerability hex instead. And that would also put them in further standings as a healer. Plus they already have extra damage to eldritch enemies on certain skills. Yeah, we're gonna do that. We're gonna bring Zombie with us. Take vulnerability hex, upgrade it. And because this is an important mission, I'm going to upgrade their skills even further. Alpha, we're going to upgrade Withstand. That way they have 27% protection. And let's make sure we don't have any triplicates of trinkets, which we do. Just to try and get a little bit of money back. Doubling up on trinkets I have no problem with. Once we've tripled up though, then we have room to sell off 1 or 2 of them. Alright. We have Alpha, we have Zombie, we have Vaux, and we have... do we bring Viral or do we bring Douai? No, we don't really bring Viral much of anywhere. And Viral can apply bleeds. We're bringing Viral. Alright. Let's get everyone kitted out here. No. Zombie. I'm gonna end up getting them a bit more stressed out, because I want those healing skills to be insane. So we're gonna give them the Ancestor's Scroll. Not quite as effective as Junia's Head, but also gives an extra 10% stress instead of a full 20, like Junior's head would. And then we can still give them the cursed incense. Unfortunately, we can't give them the evasion incense. Yeah, the dodge might be better. Well, let's see what we can give everyone else first. Alpha, we can give them quite a bit. Blights are a big thing, so I think this time we give the immunity mask to Alpha. Blights are a big thing in the Weald. We could give them the Book of Relaxation as well. Their dodge is already at 0 because of a quirk, risk taker. So we know Alpha's not going to dodge anything. But I think we want to give them the healing armlet too. We want to make sure that Solemnity is doing as much as it can. Vox? What can we give you? Magimania, Bloodthirsty, lower stun resist, more stress if the torch is high, leaving they're possessed by demons, less stress in the Weald, better disease resist. Okay, so Photomania and Fangophobia cancel each other out entirely. So the Unholy Hater, so extra damage and less stress against unholy enemies, extra resistance against disease, and less stress in the Weald. So we can cancel out that stress by giving you something else. We could drop your max HP and give you more damage, or we could give you some protection, and I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to give you the Barristan's head. We're going to give you Barristan's head, not the Barristan. And then beyond that, what can we do for you? We could give you Unmovable Helmet to stop you from getting moved around, but I don't think that'd be the smart choice here. Instead, we want to make sure that your skills hit, and when they hit hard. Your damage is already pretty good, so we give you the Warrior's Cap to ensure that your attacks actually land. We have 3 people, actually, that can mark targets. We have Weakening Curse, we have Vulnerability Hex. Vulnerability Hex can drop dodge and mark, so Zombie can do that. They're an Eldritch Hater, so they already deal more damage and take less stress from Eldritch enemies. Alpha does more damage and takes less stress from human enemies. And Viral will do more damage against beasts. And Vox will also deal more damage against human enemies with Collect Bounty. Alright. That's good there. Let's see what we can get Viral. Because Viral doesn't have any kind of special quirks here that apply to the Weald. We have Skilled Gambler, which is fine. Ruins Tactician, which is great there. Quick Reflexes is good for their speed. Hot to Trot is good for the first round, and then Evasive is good for their dodge. So we have a little bit of dodge to play around with. But Viral is a very dodge-heavy character. A very dodge-heavy hero, if I remember correctly. Right. We could drop their speed by 1 and up their blight and disease resist. The Book of Constitution. That doesn't seem like the worst idea. We could give them the Cudgel weight and drop their speed by 1, but we don't have Blackjack equipped, and that's the only sun skill that they have. So that really wouldn't matter much. We could drop their dodge by 2, giving them the steady bracer, and upping the accuracy on target whistle and Hound's Rush. That could help quite a bit. So I think I'm going to do that. Dodge only drops by 2. So then what do we do outside of that? We could give them the Bleed Stone, drop their speed by 1, give their Rush 15% higher chance to bleed. But I'm not entirely sure we need that. Instead, we can drop the speed by 1 and lower the chance that we get surprised. Because getting surprised in veteran missions is rough. It's not at all what we want. Is there anything we have that could up our dodge? We have the Moon and Sun cloaks. Outside of that, not really. We have Slippery Boots, but those would lower move resist by 20%. Their move resist is already fairly high. At 70% resist. But not as high as other members in our party. We want overall to stay towards the back, but in every position from the first, they can use all of their skills. Also, it might be a good idea to pick up Hound's Harry instead of Guard Dog. We rarely ever use Guard Dog at all. It's useful for 1 turn, but that's 1 turn alone. Lick Wounds hasn't been proving too great either, but it's good to have something to heal Rawl themselves. Yeah, I think I've talked myself into it. We should pick up Hound's Harry instead of Guard Dog. I'm gonna do that. Gonna bring our funds down a bit further. There we go. Alright. We'll even improve it. Wounds is fine where it is. Hound's Rush is fine where it is. We don't need to spend the extra coin. We're already low enough. Alright. I think this is the team we're going with. This will be our party. Let's provision them with what we can. All the food, stack and a half. 3 shovels. Stack and a half of torches. Not taking any chances. Full stack of anti-venoms and full stack of bandages. Take 2 medicinal herbs because we start with 1. We also start with 2 dog treats. We're set up in a different mission this time around. Let's make sure we're on the right one. Here we go. Campfire here this time. There we go. Stack and a half of food. Stack and a half of torches. 3 shovels. 2 medicinal herbs. 2 keys. 2 holy waters. 2 laudanum. Full stack of bandages and anti-venom. We haven't got any need for the blood yet, which is fine. So then, let's see. What else? We do still have those 2 dog treats. Those will help with Rawl. And let's see what else we can get. Or what else we should get. We got 1,625 gold left. do we want to spend it on anything extra? It's better to be safe than sorry in these kinds of missions. We'll get 2 more medicinal herbs for debuffs, 2 more holy waters for resistances, just in case we need them. It puts us just under 1,000, or just over 900 in gold. Alright. Medium veteran mission. We've got 1 campfire, or 1 bundle of firewood, so we can camp once. Make sure we have skills to prevent ambush. It's a very good point. And we currently do not. We might want to get Helm's Watch at the very least. That way we don't get ambushed. Alpha only has Pep Talk, Bloody Shroud, and Quarantine. Reflection could be good. Zombie has 4 skills. Ral has 3. Valks has 4. Yeah. Gonna need to head back and pick up a few more skills. This is taking a lot of prep time, but I think it'll be worth it in the end. So, let's go ahead and get Viral. Hound's Watch. There we go. Okay. Now, is there anything here we don't need or don't use? Just so we can get a bit of funds back. I don't think we're going to need 2 resurrection collars. We only have the 1 flagellant, so we don't need that. And I don't use the speed stone, so we'll get rid of that. Alright, that puts us back about to where we were. So let's go ahead, embark, select the right mission, and now we'll see what else we can do. The same thing, stack and a half food, 3 shovels, stack and a half torches, full stack of anti-venoms and bandages, 4 medicinal herbs, 2 keys, 4 holy waters, 2 laudanums, and that leaves us with 2,150 gold, which we can play around with a bit. And with that, I think we're actually going to take 2 full stacks of food. That way we have something to restore some health with. And if more hunger shows up, we can deal with that. Since we can afford it, we might as well take a full stack of medicinal herbs and a full stack of holy water. We'll take 2 more laudanum just in case horrors show up, so we have 1 for everybody in the party. I don't think we're going to need more on the torch. Or at least I would hope we aren't going to need more on the torches. Although, since we don't have anyone who can raise the torchlight, we're going to take 2 full stacks. That leaves us with 3 open spots in the inventory for other things. And just because we have the money for it, and because we can, we're going to take a 4th shovel. Alright. That should leave us prepared for most anything that comes our way, in terms of curios, and debuffs, and blights, and bleeds. We have things for resistances and horrors. We have things for torchlight. We have things for resting. We didn't get Alpha a 4th skill, but that's alright. With an inventory stocked like this, we should be alright. Okay, we're gonna try this. Embark. Weald. The Weald is full of long, winding paths. Bring plenty of torches. Well, I most certainly did this time.
Our land is remote and unneighbored. Every lost resource must be recovered.
That it must. That it must. Alright. We start off with a scout, and a long one at that. Not that it did too much for us there. So, a short hallway with a torch.
If only treasure could staunch the flow of otherworldly corruption.
First room, no scout, no surprise. So, now we have a hallway battle. We get the surprise on them. We have no real way to deal with stealth in this party, which I think is alright. We should be able to deal with that. Plus everyone has an extra 15% damage, which means an alpha probably hits like, yep, like a truck. 13 to 27 damage. That's gonna be insane. But, first things first, we have an outlaw bloodletter, an outlaw cutthroat, and an outlaw fusilier. So, there's protection on the cutthroat and quite a bit of dodge as well. And there's a decent amount of dodge on the bloodletter, and a pretty high amount of dodge on the fusilier. Fusilier is stealth for 2 rounds, so we can't hit them. So, cutthroat would be a good idea to take down, and then the outlaw as well. So, let's see what we can do about that. Let's mark the outlaw. Get that protection dropped a bit. Then we'll give them a Helm's Rush. Very nice. Good amount of damage there. Set up Withstand on Alpha. And then we can use Weakening Curse on the Bloodletter. They don't have any protection, but their damage could be very high. Want to make sure we keep that down. Good dodge on Fog Side Alpha. Good full team dodge as well. Rain of Whips, ow. Everyone resisted the bleed there, though, which is very good. Alright, so... yeah. Finish him. Should take care of this cutthroat.
Confidence surges as the enemy crumbles.
Alright, cutthroat's down. Don't have to deal with him. Damon's pull could get rid of the corpse, but want to wait until that Fusilier is out in the open first. So then, let's go with the vulnerability next. The Bloodletter to drop a dodge and become marked. And then Helm's Rush will do more damage. And we get a bleed. Blanket fire. Alpha just straight up takes no damage from that. We get a -4 dodge debuff for 3 rounds on Zombie and Viral. That's alright though. And now a chop here will do a nice amount of damage. Yeah, 22 damage. Very nice. Another Rain of Whips. And a bleed of 2 damage per round for 3 rounds. On Viral and Zombie. That's alright. Now then, let's go ahead and use the Hound's Rush here. And we just noticed we did not swap over to Hound's Harry from Guard Dog. That's alright, though. We can still deal with this, given what we have now.
Their cursed champion falls.
Alright, so that guy's down. Don't have to worry about him anymore. Let's use Damon's pull here. Get some damage off on the Fusilier. Clear the corpses, bring them to the front. Rushed shot. 2 damage, that's fine. We're just gonna eat that. Collect the bounty, will do a nice amount of damage here.
Eradicated.
The crit for 27 kills. Called your bluff.
Seize this momentum. Push on to the task's end.
We'll take the gold, portraits, and the busts. And these bleeds aren't too serious at the moment. Came from nothing, but I'll not end with nothing. Right. And then, use the food we found in there. Full stack of crests. Not bad. And an onyx. I think we're alright though. Let's go ahead and head into this room. It's a room battle with Curia. 2 fungal grabbers, 2 fungal batteries. But we do get the surprise on them. Now they have quite a bit of protection. So target whistle and mark for death are going to be great help here. They both qualify as human and eldritch. We have quite a few people who are going to deal a lot of damage to these guys. First things first, we need to get that protection and dodge down. The grabbers aren't too bad if none of us are marked, so let's focus on the fungal batteries, since they can give lights as well. Get both of them marked. Both debuffed. And let's go ahead and try to pull one of them to the front. Not up to the front, but close enough that Alpha can hit them.
Obliterated.
1 down. Harmless swipe. 3 damage. Mark prey. Alpha's only got 4 dodge because of the light level. Marked. About what expected. Alright. Let's actually throw some caltrops at this one. They don't take damage from it, but we get a bleed, and they'll take more damage now. And their speed is lowered, which is very nice. Very nice indeed. Houndrush could do a decent amount of damage to them too, so we're going to go for that. 16 damage, there we go. And the bleed there is almost enough to kill. If we hit them with a weakening curse or a vulnerability hex, that'll be enough to take them down, so that's exactly what we're going to do. Crit for 1 damage. There we go. The bleed will take care of them. There they go.
Slow death. Unforeseen. Unforgiving.
Again, we're running them marked on Alpha. Go ahead and use Withstand, get the protections up. Less damage than before. We're gonna have to start healing Alpha up now, though. The crit for 74! Zombie! Whoa, that is insane. That is a very good heal. I'm very happy with that. Mark for death. Read the marked. Target whistle. Protection is down to 13%. Another rent the marked. It's alright. And a chop will deal a nice amount of damage. Crit for 43. Summer before the fall. Indeed, Alpha, indeed. Alright, let's go with another target whistle here. And another mark for death. Drop that protection as low as we can. We're actually going to go for another weird reconstruction here. Heals Alpha back up to full. Take some damage. And the chop for 23. Very nice. And then we're actually going to use Lick Wounds here with Thrall, since they took some damage. And we'll use Collect Bounty.
As the fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms.
Go ahead and use that torch, why not? Take what we can from that gold. We aren't really focusing too much on busts, so instead I think we're going to take the deeds. And then an Eldritch Altar, an altar dedicated to unholy abomination. Perhaps a great power lies within. Well, it's Eldritch, so Zombie, go for it. Terrifying presence is felt in the air. Sure, better. Maybe. So there's an obstacle, and a room with a quest location ahead of us. It's alright. We can get through the obstacle.
Nature herself, a victim to the spreading corruption, malformed with misintent.
The shovel takes care of that. We take care of the hunger. Into the next room. There's the medicine. So now we have to get rid of something to make room for that. We could camp right now, but there's a lot of this place left, so that's probably not the smartest decision. So, we're going to drop the portraits here in order to get this. Alright. Make sure we bring the torchlight back up and move into the next room. Only Thorn the Thicket in that hallway, and then in this room battle. Get a surprise again, though. I'm not upset about that. Light's still pretty high. We're fine. So let's go ahead and collect bounty. Can't hit them. Finish him won't do nearly enough to take him down, so let's go ahead and mark them for death. That way Varal can possibly take them down. The Hound's Rush.
Annihilated.
There we go. Enough damage to take them down exactly. Perfect. Now we go with the Weakening Curse on the Blood Letter. And Withstand on Alpha. Blanket Fire. Point blank shot. And round 2. Alright. Let's go ahead and lick
A
wounds.
momentary abatement.
And then we'll go ahead and we could collect bounty here. Instead we're gonna mark for death. We don't have any protection, but the mark will be a good thing to capitalize on. Good full team dodge. Very happy with that. Alright, now let's see. Let's go with the Daemon's Bolt. Get rid of that corpse. Crit for 9, not bad. And it brings them to the front. Which means that Alpha can do this.
Destroyed.
That they are. Doing the whips again. Stress. Bleeding. Alright. Weird reconstruction. Zombie heal themselves. Crit for 18. A little much, but not bad. They're still marked. We can still reach them, so we'll go ahead and collect bounty. We'll crit for 45.
Executed.
I know just where you're weakest. Sure seems that way. Right, we'll go with Solemnity here with a crit heal for 24. And then a Hound's Rush should do the job.
Prodigious size alone does not dissuade the sharpened blade.
Very true. Inventory's pretty full right now, so we can't take much of this.
As the light gains purchase, spirits are lifted, and purpose is made clear.
There's a secret door back there. We're going to go ahead and backtrack for that once we're done here. There's one quest location right there. First, we're going to make sure that we get through this. So, There's a trap right there. We have 70 on alpha, or at least in trap disarm chance, 70% chance on alpha, 100% chance on Valks, 70% chance on Zombie, and 90% chance on Viral. So Valks is gonna do it. There we go. Alright. Those bleeds will go away. Deal with the hunger again. Head into the next room, make sure that light is high. We get another scout. So a hallway battle there. Curios, room battle with treasure. Alright. Here is the second quest item that we need.
A fortune waiting to be spent.
You know what? We're gonna heal up Valks to free up room for it. Let's go ahead and here we go. Just sorting the inventory out a little bit. Alright, and somebody's checking that pack for loot. There's some there, but we don't need any of it. Couldn't carry it if we did. Valks can take care of that trap. And then this room. Torchlight back up. There we go. No scout this time. So hallway battle here. This time around, if that hallway battle is the collector, in theory, we're prepared for it. No. Luckily enough, and very thankfully, it is not the collector. I am personally very happy about that. Now let's go ahead and use a vulnerability hex here because that enchantress has a lot of dodge. We don't want to deal with that. And then a Hound's Rush. Deal with a bleed. Takes them down very low health. Go to finish him here. Okay, don't have to deal with the enchantress anymore. They hew here. They both dodge. It's alright though, we can deal with that. Rapid Rush. Resist the bleed. Another one. Resist the bleed. These things are fast, so yep, they're going again. The Rapid Rush. Resist the bleed. And the fourth Rapid Rush. Crit for 4. Do not resist the bleed that time. Understandably. Alright, let's go with the Hound's Rush here. Takes him down to 1. And we collect bounty here. We're gonna go with a weird reconstruction on Valks. Move them up to 26. Very nice. And then a hew again.
Continue the onslaught.
I take care of them both.
Destroy them all.
Coin. We can't take any of it. That's alright. This time we are going to actually go ahead and use a bandage. Because that'd be an extra 8 points of damage that we don't need Valk's taking. Here is an eerie spiderweb. Treasures hidden behind it.
Packs laden with
none
loot
of which we can actually
are often
take
low
with
on
us.
supplies.
Light back up. An old tree. This could potentially be dangerous. We'll use the anti-venom this time.
A handsome reward.
We'll take the key.
For a task well performed.
The key's about all we can take from that. Alright, now there's a treasure in this room after this room battle. And there's a blighted giant. And a tenacious crone and a fungal battery. This fight could be dangerous. The only one here with protection would be the fungal battery. So they're the one we're going to try and mark and drop the protection on. We also want to pull them up to the front. Crit for 8. Do just that. They're marked. They're in the front.
press
Hound's Rush takes them down.
Give them no quarter.
So let's go ahead and use Withstand here. Hopefully that giant won't deal too much damage. Confusion Spores. Full team dodge. Very nice. Very happy about that. Alright. Let's go ahead and mark this giant for death. They have no protection, but that's fine. Curse of Vulnerability on us. Not great. So that's lower dodge and accuracy, unfortunately. Now this blighted giant counts as both a human and a beast, so Hound's Rush will deal a very decent amount of damage to them. They dodged it. Well, that's where this comes in. Vulnerability Hex. Battle drop to dodge. Tree branch smackdown. Oof. Good dodge, Valks. Very good dodge. Would have been worried if that one hit. And then a chop here. Does some nice damage at 18. Embrace the dark. Stress. Light goes down. And we'll go with Collect Bounty here now. Crit for 45. And then we're going to go ahead and use Damon's Pull on this crone. Get rid of the corpse in the front. And that brings them up to the front. Now, let's go ahead and if we use a Hue here, we can do some decent damage to the giant and to the crone. Decent damage to the giant, at least the crone dodged. That's alright. The Hound's Rush on the giant. Crit for 31.
Monstrous size has no intrinsic
Takes them
merit,
down.
unless inordinate
Goes first. Fetid
exsanguination be
Sensor.
considered a virtue.
Fetid Sensor. Dang it. Fox got Scurry. Minus 40% bleed and move resist. It could have been worse. Could have been much worse. Less of a blight. 3 damage per round for 3 rounds. Hound's Rush missed. Of course. Take the blight damage. Use an anti-venom. Get rid of that. Mark them for death. This has been marked. The vulnerability hex here. Drop the dodge, and then the chop. Finish them off.
This expedition at least promises success.
Well, it promises some success, hopefully.
The light, the promise of safety.
Alright. 2 torches. We now have 1 free spot in our inventory. We got 2 keys already, so
Finding the stuff is only the first test. Now it must be carried home.
take a stack of crests. Alright. Let's get to this room. This could be food, which we could use to heal up a bit. Go. Use that. Use that. Use that. Use that. Alright. That's all we can use in terms of food there. So everyone's healed up quite a bit. Not see that trap.
Will find
This is
no
the blight.
clemency in this place.
Use a bandage here. Can't really take anything from there, just didn't want to risk it. Didn't want to leave it untouched. Okay, we'll use a torch here, head into this room. No scout. This is a short hallway, so we'll head this way. I'll actually take this torch for
Glittering
this.
gold, trinkets and baubles, paid for in blood.
Good dodge there, Valks. Another torch.
Wealth beyond measure, awarded to the brave and the foolhardy alike.
And there's no one in here. So this is probably as good a place as any to to camp. But instead, we're going to go ahead and move back through this hall and then camp in this room. While we're at it, actually make sure we remember this time to swap out Guard Dog for Hound's Harry. Alright. let's do it.
A moment of respite. A chance to steel oneself against the coming horrors.
Everyone's fully healed. Everyone gets to de-stress a bit. Hound's Watch. Higher chance of surprising and lower chance of being surprised for 4 battles, and there will be no ambushes this time. Okay. A scout chance could be good, but we don't really need that. At least not at this point in time. Anyway. No one has mortality debuffs. We don't have anything to get rid of diseases. Now, we could deal some damage to Alpha with Quarantine and drop everyone's stress by a bit. We can heal that up. We've got the points for it. Yeah, we can use wound care here. Alright, there we go. Alpha's healed up. Everyone's got some stress relief. Right. Tracking could be good. Just keep stacking on buffs. An even lower chance, so now we're at minus 35% chance the party is surprised, and plus 30% chance of surprising monsters. And with the Book of Intuition, we have a minus 55% chance of being surprised, which is very good in this particular location. No one has a skill that they can use that uses 1 point. Let's go ahead and rest. I am blessed with good health for today at least. Things are going according to plan. Provisions run low. The journey best not last much longer.
The match is struck. A blazing star is born.
Alright. 3 more rooms, then the long trek back to check out that secret door. Let's see what this curio holds. More deeds, and some coin now that we have a spare spot. A torch, we can go ahead and use that just to top off
The way
torch
is
here.
lit. The path is clear. We require only the strength to follow it.
You get the surprise, Blighted Giant and a Cultist Enchantress. Now. Gonna go ahead and make sure that we try and target this Enchantress. They have very high dodge. I'm gonna mark the Blighted Giant. Use the Vulnerability Hex. Actually, no, we're going to use Demon's Pull, which they dodge. And withstand here. Stressful Incantation. About as expected. Confusion Spores. Full party shuffle and possible debuff. Alright, so let's get everyone back into order here first and foremost. Throw some Caltrops at the Enchantress. Worse than the bleed they already have. They resisted the debuff, unfortunately. But within the next 2 rounds, they're going to die. So we won't have to worry about them for much longer. Now let's go ahead and move Viral back 2. Eldritch Push. Zombie, dodge that. I would have been alright with them getting pushed back. And now we have the opportunity to chop Blighted Giant here, which they dodged, unfortunately. Poison Spores. Uh-oh. Blight for 3 points for 3 rounds. Bouts. Not the greatest in the world. So let's go ahead and move Zombie back 2 spots. And then here we can move Viral back 2 spots. Now this isn't our exact party order, but it's close enough to it that this can work. So let's go ahead and use the Mobility Hex on this Blighted Giant, get them marked, and drop Dodge.
Slowly, gently. This is how a life is taken.
Enchantress is down. Don't have to deal with him anymore. Use the anti-venom here. Get rid of that blight. And use collect bounty here. And then on top of that, we use the chop. Tree branch smackdown. Ow, that does a lot of damage. And doesn't move. Understandably. Okay. Let's go with the Hound's Rush here now.
A powerful blow.
No quarter given. Crit for 31. Very nice for all. And collect bounty here. 19. Instead of actually finishing them off this turn, we're going to use Salinity with Alpha here. Up their stress, healed up that little bit of health they're missing. So we can use Weird Reconstruction here with Zombie on themselves. That'll heal them up to full. Tree Branch Smackdown on Alpha for 16. Ow. But we're fine with that. We're fine with that. Got target whistle here. Keep that mark going. Then we can collect bounty. Crit for 45.
Perhaps a turning point.
Alright, take the extra key. I would like those deeds. You can drop the gold for them at least. And then in this room, there's no room battle.
In Radiance, may we find victory.
So then, keep going. Thorny Thicket. Then we got one shovel left. There's the quest item. You can come back for that. There's our last shovel gone. So now we have space for that quest item. Hunger here. ECMC. Treasures are encased with the remains. Blightstone. We're actually not going to take that. It's not going to do us much good. You probably wouldn't use it. So now we go into this room. The room battle. We did get the surprise. I'm pretty sure we've surprised every enemy we've encountered here. If not all but one. So, we'll go ahead and use that dog tree here for the extra damage and accuracy. Just because we can. Hound's Rush won't take down the fungal battery here. But target whistle will definitely mark them. So that Hound's Rush will deal more damage. Right. Now, let's go ahead and use Holy Water here on dogs. We don't want them getting anything worse. We haven't had any curios in here to use Holy Water on, so we might as well use it while we have it. Now, we can mark for death on this Blighted Giant, so it's a mark for them. We can use Solemnity or Withstand with Alpha, and I'm thinking Solemnity is a good call, but Withstand is just better. We need that protection and those resistances up. Now we can use the Daemon's Pull to potentially bring this fungal battery up to the front here. There we go. Curse of Vulnerability. Resisted the debuffs. Escape Cloud.
Unnerved, unbalanced.
Unfortunate. Smackdown.
Mortality
Ow!
clarified in a single
Oh my
strike.
god. Zombie. We need to heal you up. No one else can heal. This is bad. We might lose Zombie here. We're gonna retreat from this. Not gonna risk losing Zombie of all people. Not like this. Not like this. We know it's there. There's a curio there. We don't need that curio. So we can just keep going and move on. But if we get hunger, Zombie's gonna suffer for that. We don't have any food. We can't heal them up. We'd have to heal them up in battle. If we get the surprise, we can do this. We get the surprise. Alright, we can save them. We can save them. We can save Zombie. We can save Zombie. Okay. This is good. We'll go mark the giant. Mark Alpha, set up the protections, the resistances. Use the Hound's Harry here. Set up bleeds on everybody. Deal a little bit of damage. Weird reconstruction on Zombie. Heal for 14. They're gonna make it. Curse of vulnerability on Alpha, that's fine. They resist the debuff. They're the one we wanted marked anyway. Poison spores, 1 damage, resisted the blight, not a problem. Mark prey, go for it. Alright, resist the debuff, they're marked. Alright, that went phenomenally better than last one, or than the last time we tried this. Phenomenally better. Okay. Crit for 45 on collect bounty on that giant. Brilliant, Fox. Brilliant. Embrace the dark. It's fine. We're absolutely okay with that. Hound's Rush. 22 damage. And improving on the bleed. Go for the chop. Crit for 49.
The beast, the greater the glory.
Escape Cloud. Go for it. Lighted Valks for 2 points per round for 3 rounds. Okay. Zombie, heal yourself up again. Not taking any chances. Crone. Embrace the dark. Good dodge, Valks. Alright. Go for the vulnerability hex on that Crone. God dang it, dodged it. Fine. We're gonna go for the chop on the fungal battery. They're gone. You don't have to worry about them in their blight now. Use the anti-venom on Valks. Use the holy water on Valks. And then use collect bounty on this Crone. They're gone. They're done.
Quakes.
Called your bluff. Tactical retreat there.
These nightmarish creatures can be felled. They can be beaten.
Indeed. Right, we're actually going to leave this spot open here. Now, I am certain that this dog treat is not going to do anything here. We're going to try it anyway. There's nothing of value inside. So we went through that for nothing. It's fine, though. We managed to heal up and come out on top from that. -2 accuracy, -5% damage, -1 speed, +10 stress. The rest of the quest, because of Death's Door recovery. That's fine. There's no more battles that we know of that we have to deal with. So that's perfectly fine. No problems with that at all. Now, we're going to continue adventuring for the sole purpose of getting to that secret door. This could turn dangerous only if we have to deal with more than one instance of hunger, which we're dealing with right now. So, any other instance of hunger that we have to deal with is going to cause some damage and stress, which we do not like. And also, if this happens...
Sparkling eyes of youth, twisted and made merciless.
The Collector. We're back. This time, we might have a team that can deal with it, though. Maybe. If not, we can always retreat. We're done with the quest. We can go home. But we'll be damned if we don't try. We've got the holy waters. Let's use them. Hound's Rush. Do some damage. Use the holy water. Use the vulnerability hex. Smart. Dodge is dropped. Go for the chop. Crit for 44.
And power.
Fog before sunrise. What call? Head knocker. Resisted the stun. All of them have dodge, none of them have protection. Go for the caltrops on the collector. Increase the amount of damage they take. Keep that bleed going if we can. Lifesteal. Healed for a lot off of that. Headache. Increase damage, accuracy, and crit. Not great. Withstand. We need that protection. We need it now. We already have the holy water buff going. Go for the Hound's Rush. We don't care about distance, withdrawal. 21 damage. Keep that light going. Demon's Pull. 8 damage. Brings them up. Headhunt. Good dodge, zombie. Head gains. Guard that collected highwayman. It's fine. For all, Hound's Harry won't kill. The Hound's Rush just might. Go for it. Crit for 31.
Is often blind to its own peril.
Yes! Not even the collector's gonna stand in the way this time.
Foolish horrors. Brought low and driven into the mud.
Indeed. Feel good after that one. Just gonna try and keep the torch high, just in case. Not to mention, there's probably gonna be a lot of loot in that chest beyond that secret door. Want to make sure that we have ample room to carry all of it. If we use all the torches before we get there, we have a legitimate reason to keep going there. A legitimate reason to make enough space to bring everything there with us. Here it comes.
Gnawing hunger sets in, turning the body against itself, weakening the mind.
We can take that damage. We can take that stress. Not as bad as it could have been. We're almost there. Go to this room. It's in this hallway. Hunger right before it, of course.
No force of will can overcome a failing body.
Zombie becomes irrational from the stress. Warm as the dawn, it's so distant the horizon. It's alright. We made it. We're there. You don't have to worry about it now. Now just to make sure. There.
Terrors may indeed stalk these shadows, but yonder, a glint of gold.
Now we have the highest chance of getting the most loot out of this. So we're going to use the skeleton key here. And all it gives us is more onyx. That's fine. We can take the trapezohedrons. It's not going to do us any good, but we're going to use up these holy waters. This trapezohedron. And keys. Well, we only have one anti-venom, so we'll swap the anti-venom out for that onyx. Ah, indeed. Alright, we're done. Quest complete.
These medicines will prevent the outbreak of epidemic at our struggling hamlet.
Came out of that looking pretty dang good. Wasn't intending that to be a money run at all. but we came out of that with over 20,000 gold, counting the treasure and the reward. We also got 3 portraits from the quest reward and the moon cloak, which we already have one of, but now we have 2. We also picked up 9 deeds and 12 crests. And that gets both Valks and Zombie up to champion level, our first champions on the roster. Alpha and Viral, both 4. Alpha almost made it to champion. Next time, maybe. Yeah, Viral is now at master level. Alpha, for that, got Gambler. In Town will be Gamble. That's not the worst thing in the world. And Valks got Early Riser in place of Warren's Explorer. Plus 2 speed if the torch is above 75. That's fine. We gotta get rid of that scurvy on Valks. And we gotta get Zombie some stress relief, because now they're irrational. But all in all, that went very well.
The preponderance of rare and exotic injuries makes this place perfect for the study of suffering.
And we also have the Caregivers Convention, so now treatment and medical wards are both free. Which means we have the perfect opportunity to get Valks that scurvy treatment that they need. No one else has any disease, which is wonderful. So we can focus on who we want to get rid of some quirks on. Now, just relax, kid, I know, has Plutomania, which we want to make sure we get rid of. Nervous is not good on Durary. And anyone else who has something bad? Let's see. Let's see. Shocker isn't great on Raymond. Yeah, we'll get Shocker gone from Raymond. I want to be a better person. Okay. Zombie. You need some stress relief. We're gonna give it to you. Head to the bar and have a drink. Bring the whole bottle. This will not be a short night. No, it won't. Alpha, you can go ahead and gamble. And Viral, you go ahead and have a drink as well. Just so that we get some stress off of our people here. That went phenomenally well. We can go ahead and unequip all trinkets, sort them by rarity, put everything back. We have 2 moon cloaks in here. We came out of that looking pretty dang good, all things considered. The Nomad Wagon has the scouting whistle for the Houndmaster. Plus 20% scouting chance if the torch is below 51. And plus 20% trap disarm chance. That could have been good in the last one. Bleed Stone, Debuff Stone, Debuff Charm. Don't really need either of those things. We're only about 5 deeds away from upgrading our weaponsmithing. And after that, we can head back to the stagecoach and upgrade experienced recruits up to level 2. But on the stagecoach right now, we have 2 bounty hunters, an arbalest and a leper at seeker level, and a houndmaster, a grave robber, and an arbalest at apprentice level. Well, we have no room on this roster right now for any of that. I would like to get a gunslinger back in this roster at some point, but that means we would either have to get rid of somebody or someone would have to die. But that doesn't really matter so much right now. Well, this has been a bit of a long one indeed, but that is going to do it for this episode of Darkest Dungeon. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you haven't already, if you want to see more content like this, or some of the other content that we have on the channel. We're going to keep that content coming, so don't worry about that. Hit the notification bell so that you receive notifications when we upload new videos. Leave a like, or leave a comment, rather, on the video. It helps us out a lot, it really, really does. Also, remember to leave a comment if you want to have one of the heroes on this roster named after you. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!